Aniverse Now Enterprises, an animal health organization, is committed to fostering harmony between animals, nature, and humans. We offer a range of services, from Reiki and therapy to comprehensive education, empowering pet owners and communities to coexist in harmony. Join us in creating a world where animals, nature, and humans thrive together. Visit our website at DaRonShavers.com to discover how you can be part of this transformative journey.
All right. Hello and welcome everybody to another live stream. All right. I'm your host, DaRon Shavers. I am the owner and founder of Aniverse Now Enterprises, which is a company I founded on the principle and mission of bringing harmony between people and the natural world. Now, I do this through various means. I am a life coach. I am also a mind, body, and spiritual therapist, also known as Reiki, for people as well as animals. I am also an online educator. I do this through my online course titled Introduction to Nature. And pretty much I walk you through various ways on how to connect with nature indoors as well as outdoors and the benefits that they have in our life. All right. Also, be sure to check out the Aniverse Network podcast. This is a podcast that is your one-stop shop for everything nature-related. I cover topics from animals to trees to plants to insects to news in the field. Have experts in their field to come on and share their knowledge. It's a great time. So be sure to check that out on your favorite podcasting platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Samsung Podcasts, iHeart, Pandora, various more. All right, it's all there. So be sure to tune into that. So for today, we got a very special topic. We're talking about work-life balance. So take in for a moment all of the things that are happening, right, in the country, whether it's at universities or the economy, or whether we have to work to pay bills, right? And a lot of times, this constant stress that we go through from our external stimuli, right? Meaning things outside of our bodies. A lot of these things can cause stresses, anxiety, and other types of symptoms. All right. So a lot of times when we feel a certain way, when we feel anxious about something, when we feel, our emotions shift, a lot of times it could be due to what's around us without us even realizing or paying attention to it. All right. So check this out. We're going to start off with this. I call this a 5-5-5 breath work technique. So we're going to do about 3 reps of it, right? We're going to inhale through our nose. We're going to hold our breath for 5 seconds. Then we're going to exhale through our mouth for 5 seconds. Again, we're going to inhale through our nose for 5 seconds. We're going to hold our breath for 5 seconds. And then we're going to exhale for 5 seconds. Don't worry about counting. I'll do the counting. You can close your eyes or you don't have to. If you're driving, please keep your eyes open. All right. And, let's get a few reps in. So let's inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale. Inhale through your nose. Hold your breath. Exhale. All right. So that probably took maybe a minute. All right. Think about that. Notice how you feel right now. How did you feel beforehand? How did you feel during? How do you feel right now? me, I feel a lot more relaxed, right? I've kind of been running errands all day. I finally get to a point now I'm about to get on a live stream and teach. I'm able to recenter myself and be able to provide knowledge. All right. So this is something you can do if you're at work, if you're in school, if you're an entrepreneur. 3 reps of that maybe took 1 minute. So you take time out, recenter yourself, and this can help to overcome a lot of those external stimuli causing those internal symptoms, such as anxiety, depression, right? Multiple other things that happen. All right. Now, if you're sitting next to a window or you're able to look outside, take a quick glance outside. What do you see? Depending on where you are, you may see a different thing, right? If you're in a city, you may see, buildings or skyscrapers. If you're in, a part of the world where you have more nature, trees, birds flying, right? All of these different things. We see nature. And what does this mean? This means we have a natural therapist around us. A natural therapist around us. Would you look at that? All right. So when I say natural therapist, this is when we look at nature, every part of nature that's around us can help us in our life some way. You look at trees. Why are trees important? Well, when we did our breath work routine earlier, what do we breathe in? We breathe in oxygen, right? Well, guess how that oxygen became clear or cleaner? Through the tree. And when we breathe out, what do we breathe out? We breathe out carbon dioxide. Guess what? What does the tree inhale? Carbon dioxide. So the trees are really like the lungs to the earth. And we actually share that experience with trees. Something to think about. Look at the water. Water is important. Right? You have to drink water. Your body needs water. Your body functions from water. Right? Earth. The minerals. That's what our body's made of. Our bones, calcium. You have iron going through your bloodstream. All of these things. Right? When you move, your muscles get, warm. Fire. It gets warm, right? All of these things are around us within nature. And something else that's really important is the wildlife. Again, the wildlife. So, here's what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at the squirrel. Maybe one of the most common types of animals you find in the urban environment, in the wild. Squirrel. You have gray squirrels, red squirrel. I saw a purple squirrel, believe it or not. So there's around 285 different species of squirrels, right? They're in the rodent family, right? So same as, your mice, things of that nature. They're herbivores, meaning they mostly eat, fruits, berries, things of this nature. So when we look at a squirrel and you notice how it runs, right? To run up a tree, down a tree, hop from branch to branch, right? And you see all these things. You notice that they're perfectly balanced, even across the power lines, effortlessly, right? It's like you want to talk about a master, ballerina, right? You rarely see a squirrel stumble. All right, next time you're outside and you see a squirrel, just observe. So what can we learn from a squirrel, DaRon? Well, check this out. A squirrel, even when it hops from branch to branch, it has balance, right? When we look at our life and we go from one point in our life to another point in our life to another point in our life, right? Or a chapter to another chapter to another chapter, right? We have to find that inner balance that allows us to be able to be present in what we're doing. For example, we look at work-life balance. And I'm just speaking from experience. It was times when I would work, work as well as school. And that's all I would do, right? I had to study, had to go to work, come home, you do it all over again, right? Constantly. I found that over a short amount of time, you start to experience burnout, right? You start to experience that. So then I remember I was talking to, one of my mentors, and they were like, well, how is your work-life balance? I said, well, what do you mean? What is that? They said, well, I noticed you're doing all of this work. You're going to work, right? You come home, you're going to school, you come back home, you study, you got your homework, right? Maybe you're able to get a workout in, and then you wake up, you do it all over again, right? And at this point, I thought I was getting a lot done, right? What I was doing is wearing myself out. Now, again, after talking to my mentor, I started implementing times to be able to play. As cliche as it sounds. What can you do when I say play? Listen to music, watch a movie, right? Netflix, right? Go outside for a moment. Call someone you love talking to. Draw, write. If you can rap, rap. You know what I mean? Right? These are all examples of play, dance, all of these things. And when you notice when you do that, you begin to become happier, right? And your body comes to a place where it feels good, right? You feel good with what you're doing, right? And once the body starts to get into this point, you forget all about those anxieties, those stresses. Not to say they don't disappear, right? Because that's another thing. You have to constantly work on that, right? And this is for all of us. So when I say that, and I started to look how squirrels go about their day, I noticed how fast they shift from one point to the next. All right. Now we look at our day. We get from the morning to the noon, to afternoon, to the evening, to the night, right? These are points in our day. A lot of times we're at work for, majority of those sections. And then we shift to another point, right? We get to the evening. Then we shift to another point, right? We get to the nighttime. Now, if we fill all of this with constant work, then notice how your body feels, right? All of us are different. Again, I'm speaking from experience. You may be able to go through and, 21 days of constant 20-hour shifts, right? Speaking hypothetically. So looking at that, when you start to break it down into sections, okay, I'm going to work for this amount of time, then I'm going to take this time to myself and be able to play. Then notice how you're able to continue to carry on. So this is what the squirrel can teach us. Though we may be high energy and constantly we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to do this. We're still able to go through those parts of the day, but we have that internal work-life balance, which brings about more mindfulness. What I mean when I say mindfulness, more awareness. Become more aware of yourself. So this is what the squirrel can teach us. Right, so a lot of, those that are listening live now or hear the replay, maybe you haven't thought of a squirrel as in being able to actually teach us something and how we can apply in our life, right? And it may take a couple listens to actually understand, right, what I'm telling you, and that's okay. But just know that the squirrel is only one piece of the nature puzzle that can help us in our life and bring us ways and how we can improve. All right? So it's just one way. So looking at that, if you want to learn more about ways and how nature can benefit us, be sure to tune in again to the Aniverse Network podcast. Again, here's a brief view of what it looks like. All right. And then once you listen to that, you get a feel for how I love to bring nature into our life. Again, I'm a life coach. All right. Feel free to sign up for a free consultation through my website, www.DaRonShavers.com. And I'll be happy to speak with you on how any of my services that I offer can help you in your life, wherever you are in your life. All right. Also have the 4-week life coaching program. We meet twice a week over the course of 4 weeks or a month. You see the results for yourself. All right. I'm also, again, a mind, body, and spiritual therapist. Another term for Reiki therapist for people as well as animals. This service can be done via virtually, how you're watching this now, or in person, depending on where you are. All right. So wherever you are in the world, Reiki can be applied virtually. I'm communicating now. Then, in person, it's an experience within itself. All right. So again, I work with dogs, cats, horses, reptiles, amphibians, if you have a tarantula, right? All of those. Again, to build harmony between people and the natural world, which is the mission of Aniverse Now Enterprises. All right? So be sure to tune into that. Feel free to message me with any questions that you have. Again, you can book a free session through my website. You can scan the QR code. That'll take you to the Aniverse Network podcast. All right. So be sure to tune in. I can't wait to meet all of you, share knowledge, and help grow together. All right. With that in mind, I'll see everyone on the next episode. All right. Peace.
Aniverse Now Enterprises, an animal health organization, is committed to fostering harmony between animals, nature, and humans. We offer a range of services, from Reiki and therapy to comprehensive education, empowering pet owners and communities to coexist in harmony. Join us in creating a world where animals, nature, and humans thrive together. Visit our website at DaRonShavers.com to discover how you can be part of this transformative journey.